Amy Timberlake is one of my favorite people. She was my first children's book friend and my first collaborator. The very first book that I made in the children's book space was, oh, she got it right there, The Dirty Cowboy, written by Amy Timberlake, and pictures by me. And it was my first book. It was her first book. And I feel like that gives us kind of a special bond that can never be broken. And so I love these books. Amy Timberlake is the author of a number of wonderful books, including the Newbery Honor One Came Home. You don't have that one to pop up, do you? I didn't actually bring a copy myself, but there's One Came Home, which is a lovely book. I love that one a lot. And now she's got this new series, the Skunking Badger series, and so I think she can probably explain these books to us better than I can. Do you want to just tell us a bit about Skunking Badger?
Okay, so I have a little thing prepared.
Yeah.
So I will. Okay, all right. I'll just start. So Skunking Badger is the story of this badger here. He does important rock work. Here's what that looks like. He does this every day. He does it regularly. He loves it. It's his passion. He thinks about rocks when he goes to the grocery store. He thinks about rocks when he comes back from the grocery store. And then he goes back into his rock room and he sits down and he says, okay, focus, 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 focus. And he works on his rocks. And this book starts when there's a knock at the door. Rap, 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 rap. And it is this skunk here. And Skunk is Badger's unexpected roommate, which never goes well. That's just, I mean, these two characters are very, very different. But even if you were very alike, if you were unexpected, you would not make a good roommate. And so anyway, they are very different. Badger is not expecting Skunk to move in. It does not go well. In fact, when I was writing it, there was a long period of time where I did not know if the two characters would come together at all. I was like, if this is not convincing to me, I will not have a book. But they did come together because now we have book 2. But I'm going to read a section from here, from the first book that led to the second book. And if you have your book at home, please turn with me to page 54. In this scene, Badger is showing Skunk his geological survey maps, and geological survey maps are maps that show the rocks underneath the ground. So if you needed to see underneath the hill outside your house, you could look at a geological survey map and go, oh, there's this layer and this layer and this layer and this layer. All right, so that's what Badger is showing Skunk in the scene. Badger told Skunk how he used maps on rock finding expeditions. Skunk gasped. Rock finding expedition? What is that? Badger explained about how he camped out. Under the stars? Interrupted Skunk. Technically, yes, but with a picnic every day, interrupted Skunk again. I guess I do eat outside. Skunk hopped from one foot to the other. What else? What else? So Badger explained how clues in the landscape led to a particular rock. Skunk slapped his paw on the map. Like X marks the spot? Sort of. Yes. Then Skunk turned and said, Badger, what are we waiting for? So they don't have to wait long because we have egg marks a spot. It is not X marks a spot. Egg is a clue. That is, nothing goes exactly as they hope. Or I don't know. I don't know exactly what Skunk hopes anyway, but Badger is hoping they're going to find a spider eye agate that his crafty cousin Fisher, I will show you Fisher.
Oh, wow. I never saw Fisher on the, holy cow. I did not notice that Fisher was on the spine of the book.
He's just hiding.
Oh, that's amazing.
So Fisher Fisher took years ago. So they're going to go out and find, Badger wants to find a replacement for this spider eye agate that is his letter A rock for his wall of rocks. And Skunk wants to get out of there because there's a hedgehog that's taking his book review and he can't deal with confrontation. So he just wants to get out of there before another Sunday goes by and he doesn't have his book review.
Yeah,
And
I think
so
that's
off they
amazing.
go.
I think that Skunk needs to get out of town because somebody is stealing his newspaper. And
Yeah.
I think that is a motivation that I've never before heard of or seen in children's literature. And
Well, have you ever done it? Have you done it? Because I do this thing. Like, I do this thing where I don't want confrontation. So I'm like, I'll just get out of here. Then I don't have to deal with it. You don't do this.
no, I mean, I am conflict averse myself. I avoid confrontation. I don't think I've ever skipped town to avoid a slightly uncomfortable conversation with somebody who's stealing my newspaper or something that on that level. But no, I get it. I get why he wants to leave. And I like that they both have their motivation for, the Badger is sort of dealing with, the reawakening of this childhood loss, that he lost this most special rock, really the rock that got him interested in rocks. This is like his origin story, and he lost it to this sneaky cousin who just took it and said finders keepers and has had it ever since. And he thinks that he needs to go out and find a replacement for that rock. And so that sends them both off into the woods in a really funny way. And I just love how that all comes together. And I love how it kind of underlines a big difference that I feel like there is between the two characters, where you talked already about how Badger is all about focus. He's so much about focus that he's thinking about rocks all the time. He never sees anything else around him. It's really his friendship that grows with Skunk in the first book that gets him to actually look up and notice anything else that's going on in the world. And he realizes that he's been missing out on a lot. But would you say that Skunk is like the antithesis of that he's no focus at all?
No, I know he does have some focus. I mean, he just values different things. Because like, for instance, one of the things that I realized later after I'd written it was that when they pack for their camping trip, their rock finding expedition, they both plan.
Yeah.
So Skunk is actually able to plan. It's just that he's planning.
Is he though? Is he able to plan? I mean, his plan, it seems like it starts with, I'll put every object in the house inside a backpack. And when he finds out that doesn't work, he has to start paring things down.
Well, he's planning for picnic every day.
Yeah.
That's like a completely different trip. And he thinks the yellow backpack is great because it's big. And who would want, I mean, it's called a backpack. You wouldn't call something a backpack unless it was supposed to be carried on your back. So anything that goes into the backpack should be able to be lifted. I mean, he's just inexperienced.